Democrats want to insult the women of America by making them believe that they are helpless without Uncle Sugar coming in and providing for them a prescription each month for birth control because they cannot control their libido or their reproductive system without the help of the government, then so be it. Let us take that discussion all across America, because women are far more than the Democrats have played them to be, and women across America need to stand up and say enough of that nonsense.
Well, the RNC winter meeting's been taking place here in Washington, and so I'm joined by two men who were in the audience at the RNC meeting during the Huckabee speech. Chris Devaney is the Tennessee Republican Party chairman, and Joe Nosef is the chairman of the Mississippi Republican Party. Gentlemen, welcome to you both. I want to note here that the RNC chairman, Reince Priebus, reacted to the speech, Huckabee's speech, and said this to the Washington Post. I don't know what, referring to Huckabee, I don't know what he was talking about, sort of a goofy way of using some phrases, not the way I would have phrased it. And Joe, you know, obviously part of the party's rebranding issues have to do with how to talk about women's issues. What did you make of Governor Huckabee's comments?
Well, a few months ago, I was on another program, and the subject was a New York Times article that talked about how the country's basically split on the pro-life issue, and maybe even a little bit ahead. But Republicans sometimes have a hard time explaining that in a smart way that doesn't talk about contraception or rape or something like that that offends 53% of the population. So I thought that was another example.
Were you offended by that?
I wasn't offended by it, but my point was it's distracting. Our position is a very, I believe over 70% of the people think abortion should be wrong after the first trimester. I think the last poll I saw was 48% of the people in the country are pro-life. So it's a reasonable position that we need to be able to argue effectively without distracting it and offending it.
And is the mistake here, you're talking about abortion,
that's not
contraception, right?
Well, that's not the way I would have said what he did. I think what we need to do is focus on as a party is talk about, people don't realize that 80% of in households, women make 80% of the decisions on the finances of the home, on health care. And so what we need, and you know, if it's like my wife, she wants security. And so what we need to talk about is the Republican policies provide that kind of security. So that's what we need to talk about.
Did you think that it was a mistake to almost have Huckabee on this topic?
I would not have talked about that. I'd talk about the economy.
All right. Both of you are chairman of your state Republican parties. You both have incumbent U.S. senators running for re-election and being challenged from the right. Yours is not as Senator Alexander. I don't want to. No challenge is unserious. His is less than what Senator Cochran's dealing with. This split in the party. First of all, do you take a position on Senator Alexander's renomination?
Well, I don't. Well, we don't get involved in primaries.
You're technically,
you know, we don't do that. But look, I mean, it's. I don't think there's a split in the party. Really, it's really a healthy. I know this is a cliche, but it really is not a cliche. It's a healthy thing to have a Republican primary. The Democrats in Tennessee can't even find anybody to run. Why? It's legitimate.
Why is it? I am curious of this in your state. It seems as if, quote unquote, the establishment wing has been stronger in Tennessee than the Tea Party compared to what I've seen in other states. Why do you think that is?
Well, you know, we have a history of electing, you know, pragmatic leaders, conservative leaders, actually, Fred Thompson, Bill Frist, and people gravitate to those kind of people. Yeah.
Joe, in your state, it's a little more contentious. You have a state senator, Chris McDaniel. You have Thad Cochran. I know you don't officially take a position. Is this healthy for your party or not? I mean, Democrats could end up finding a candidate, the Attorney General or somebody else there, and could cause you some headaches, could it not?
Well, there's certainly some people fretting about it, but it could be healthy. We just have to see. Our goal, Chuck,
is You're not 100% convinced it's healthy yet?
Well, we're going to make sure it is. My goal is to not have election night and have a screw-up in Mississippi where people look and they say, well, if it weren't for Mississippi, we could have taken the United States Senate back. I mean, we've got a state senator who's got a lot of support from some out-of-state groups and other people. We've got Senator Thad Cochran, who's got the governor, Phil Bryant, who's very popular with everybody, including the Tea Party. He sent his chief of staff, Kurt Sims, to manage a campaign, which is not only symbolic but a very practical, positive thing for Thad Cochran. So it's going to be an interesting race, but our goal is to not have the circular firing squad.
It sounds like you're almost weighing in on the side of Thad Cochran.
No, I'm just breaking it. I was just breaking it down. I can't. The state party is prohibited from endorsing.
All right. And how many Tennessee Republicans are going to run for president? We don't hear about it. It used to be you guys always were producing a presidential candidate.
We need to get one. Yeah.
You're searching another one. Did you talk to Corker about it? You talked to him?
we have a big bitch.
Chris Devaney, Joe Nosef, thanks for your time.